So now what we're going to do is we're going to start treating this as the last step of a brick by doing 180-degree parity algorithms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in the obvious ones in first. The centers here, I can put all these centers in over here because all of these have homologies on the other side. So these layers I can just place. What do I mean by that? What I mean is I'll take this, I'm going to take this and just simply move it to here. Turn here, go like this, double turn, go like this, and fear not, all will be placed back, and pow. Okay, so I'm not destroying anything, all I'm doing is I'm slowly placing all of these back in. How about this to here? So let's see if it's possible. Double turn, turn, and as long as I don't have any bandaged areas, then I'm okay. Turn, double turn. So before I start doing my Rubik's 180 algorithms, I'm just going to see how much of this I can get away with. So far so good. This will come into here. Turn, 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 and now just bring it back. Turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so you can see that we're slowly building these into here. How about these two, these three actually? Let's see what we got here. Got a couple. Now, should I take a little chance? Can I move these two into here at the same time? I don't know. Let's try it out. Turn this over here. As long as I'm not overlapping layers, I think it should work. See, this is not bandaged by this, which is leaping all the way in. Double turn, move this back, move these two layers back over here. And the thing about the complexity of this kind of ultimate shapeshifter is there's no way to know every permutation. So yeah, it worked. I've got one left over here, which is this guy. So it should be fairly easy to move this in. Oh. Yep, okay. This turns over here. I'm making this side over here. Turn, turn, turn. This is the same strategy that you can use with any giant cube. Turn and turn. So, like magic, we've got all of these in and we've got all of these in. Now, how much can I do just by positioning like this? How much more can I do? Well, maybe I should start working on these guys next. That shouldn't be too difficult. As a matter of fact, with these the way they are, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do algorithms to put these in. I'm just going to do my 180-degree algorithm with this, which in this case is 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. Put that in, put the parity out over here. I can fix that. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. Fix that right up, and these are okay over here. So I've got this center and this center all correlating pretty well. So I'm going to start doing all the centers first before doing the edges. How about this center and this center? How are we going to do these? Well, is it possible to place it the way that I did before? I'm not so sure about this guy. I'm actually not so sure, but let's try it out. We'll do it one at a time. So move this like so. I've got this in. Turn it to the side. Nope, it's not going to work because I'm going to get bandaged here. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to abandon that because that's not going to work. So at this point, I think I've gone about as far as I can with doing it just by placing. So now I'm stuck with brick strategies. Move this over to here. Try to get the corners in as much as possible. Okay, so the way that I do this with brick strategies is I'm going to go from the center on in. This is all fine, this is all fine. What about these guys and these guys? Well, I'm going to run into issues with both brick parities potentially and floppy parities. How do I know which is which? Well, first thing I'm going to do is taking a look at this. This and this can swap pretty well. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to double turn this over here, then move this and double turn this over here. The reason that I did that is I like the corners to be the ones that have to swap, not the center. So now I can just move this over here, and then I can just swap these two. So this is using an algorithm that is not based on any parities. There's no floppy parity with this, and there's no brick parity with this. And I'll show you what I mean as we discover them. So I'm going to move these into place. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, and 2F, 2R, 2U. So this algorithm, which did flip that, is the very basic of a 180 degree parity algorithm, basically. It's not really parity, 180 degree placement with that. You can do that with any even layer puzzle. If you do your Rubik's Cube scramble with 180 degrees, you can do that. Now you see that this is out and this is out, so we can swap these two, but I think I'm going to wait on that. Let's just keep getting the centers. Now let's take a look at these. Notice I can't do a similar kind of a swap. So there's a symmetry between these guys because two are out on both sides. So we can do an even number of swaps. An even number of swaps meant that I could just do the algorithms without taking it out of its reduced position. So that's one form, the most basic form. You can see that this over here, just by way of demonstration, blue and white, can swap with, say, over here, these two, the green and white and green and white. So these two can swap here pretty cleanly. Here, it's not that situation. This is a different situation. This is a different kind of a parity with this. This is actually going to be a brick parity. So to demonstrate that, when you have two that are out in this particular puzzle, that's the easiest version. This is where you just have one out here and one out here. Because that's a single exchange, it's not going to work like that. So what I'm going to do first is let's go ahead and take the majority of these in the proper color, the proper side. So we can just go cur splat. So we've got that over there. Now, if we don't want to move this out, what we can do is maybe like this. 1, 2. Bring this back over here. 1, 2. All right, I just kind of cheated that over there. So here's the question. How do I exchange these guys? Because I can't do that same swap. So this is the next situation, which is what I call the brick parity. The brick parity is what I've had a lot of questions from people when they try to solve the 3x4x5. They end up with a situation where they inevitably have one out here and one out here. This is what it looks like in the center. If it were like this on the edge, you'd have 3 that are out. If you have 3 edges that are out, and they have to cycle, that's what I call the brick parity. This is just the center version of it. There's actually a third one that's going to cycle, but you can't see it as a problem because it's of the same color. So here's how you get through this. This is how you get through the brick parity. What this is actually going to do is this takes this piece and brings it to here, which is good. This piece will come to here, which is good, and this piece will come to here. So it's going to be a 3 cycle. In this case, you can't see that this is out because it's the same color, but that's what the brick parity algorithm is going to do for you, and that's what you have to do occasionally with this particular puzzle. So here's what you want to do. It's either going to be on the left side or the right side. This is going to be on the left side. Match it to where The other one that's out is at the same level, just on the opposite side, which is over here. And what the brick parity algorithm is going to be, when it's on the left side, is remember we're going to be moving like this and like this. Those are my L's and my F's. And that's going to be starting off with 2F, and then we do a UI, to L, U, to R, UI, to L, U, to R. Then you do a 2F. Then with this over here, because this is what we're actually dealing with, we do after the 2F, we do a 2L, and then another 2F. We then finish it up with 2R, UI, to L, U, to R, UI, to L, U. Then finish this up now with another 2L, then 2F, and 2L. And lo and behold, it's done. You fixed it. So that's how you get out of that brick parity over there. Now you can see that this got out and this got out, but that I can easily put back in. Oh, actually do it like this. We'll double turn, but that parity was taken out. I'll just do a couple of little things over here and over here. So now it's just a matter of hunting for the different parities. So there's the brick parity. Now let's see what else we can do. So we've got all of these centers in. That's now completely reduced. We've got all of these centers in. Now we got this. So try to guess what kind of a situation. Is this the usual 180-degree double swap placement algorithm? Or is this a brick parity? What do you think? Well, this is probably more of a brick parity because they don't have two to exchange with here, so it's a single exchange, which means that this is a brick parity and I got to do exactly the same thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's get the majority color at the proper side. So I'm just going to go like kersplat. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Kerplink and kersplat. Okay, just for the time being. So this is here and this is here, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm not really worried about the outer portions now, I'm just doing the inner portions. So you can see that this is left side. So this green will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. So I'm going to apply the same strategy, but just to the inside, and it's once again the left-sided version. So we do a... And now it's a matter of bringing in the edges here. The edges are gonna, I'm gonna need are three different algorithms. One is the usual 180 degree that you've seen me do with the Rubik's 180. That's the URF algorithm. The other is either a floppy parity or a brick parity. The floppy parity using Red Bull algorithms, the brick parity using a more convoluted type algorithm. But let's take a look at these edges first and see what we can do here. Let's see what kind of symmetries we have. Looking over here, you can see that this is all in, but this isn't, just two are in, this isn't, and this isn't. So there's obviously a break in symmetry here. So this is an example of, if I had to define it, 1, 2, 3 edges are out. If you see 3 edges are out, that's a brick parity. If you see 2 edges are out, that's a floppy parity. Either way you look at it, it's something that we're going to have to get out of our native shape initially in order to solve. So the way to do this is find the one that's out, take the one that is supposed to come into it just opposite, which is here. And what the brick parity ultimately is going to do, what this algorithm is going to do, is it's going to take this, move it to here, this will come to here, and this will come to here. So with one use of this parity, algorithm, we should be able to get these corners, these edges back in, rather. There's a right-sided version of this, and there's a left-sided version. So we're going to be doing the right-sided version of it. So with the right-sided version, make sure these two are opposite each other over here. And we have to make sure of what we're doing. We're going to be slicing into this here, 1, 2, 3. So when I move this over here, it's going to be the middle 3 that we're going to be doing. So it's going to be this like so. Okay, so let's see what this will do. With the right-sided version, that's going to be a 2F U 2R UI 2L U 2R UI 2L. We're then going to do another 2F. Then we're going to do a 2R with this over here. Bring this in with a 2R, which kind of takes us out of the alignment that we were before, and another 2F. 2F. Then we finish it up with the second half, which is kind of just the opposite of what we did before. And that's going to be a 2L U 2R UI 2L U 2R UI. That'll get us back to our native form over here. Then it's just a matter of doing another (2R), 2F, and 2R. Okay, the end result of that is it's going to place these in a more symmetric pattern. So now all I have to do is do my 180-degree algorithms with this now that these two are symmetric. So that's going to be 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, and 2F, 2R, 2U. So all of our edges are now in. At the end of all that, this is reduced, this is reduced, this is reduced. These are all reduced. It turns out that the way this puzzle is bandaged, you have to sort of trace the floppy parity all the way around until you get to here. There's probably an easier way of doing that, but that's just how it kind of worked with me. So now the question is, where to move from here? Now that we've got these in, we have to start working on some other edges, and I'm going to work on these now over here. This is going to be the next step over here. So to do that, it's the same thing. Let's look to see what kind of symmetries we have here. I can see that I'm going to start off with the inner and then work my way outer. So I've got 2 that are in and 1 that's out, 3 that are in. It's exactly the same kind of a thing. So this is going to be another 3 cycle, which means we have ourselves another brick parity. So let's find the one that's supposed to go where it should come over to here. And that, I think, is this guy over here. So this needs to come over to here. Which means I can do it like this. I can take it where this, well, this comes to here. Well, let me see. Let me make sure I'm doing this correctly here. Might have to do it like this. Yeah, where this comes to here, this goes to here, and this goes to here. So that's going to work. So this is going to be, once again, a right-sided version of what we've got. So we're going to do the same thing. This is going to be a right-sided version to move this into over here, and then we'll have to see. Hopefully we won't cause too much disruption of some of our other centers here. So it's going to be 2F, U, 2R, UI, 2L, U, 2R, UI, 2L. We're going to double turn this over here, taking all of this with us. And then we're going to do one turn like this, and then another turn like this, our 2F. Then we do our 2L, U, 2R UI, 2L U, 2R UI. Upon doing that, we do our 2R, 2F, and 2R. And reliably, it did what I wanted. It put these back in so that all of these are where they need to be. These are actually solved, and I just have to flip-flop these two. So it's a consistent way of doing that. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. Okay, so now these inside edges are in, but now we've got to do some cleanup, some of which is going to be easy, like these guys here. Now what about this guy? This little piece over here. Well, we're not going to be able to move it in quite the same way. We can try. Here's what happens. We double turn this here, turn it across here, double turn this here, and you can see we're blocked. So that's not going to work. Okay. So this is another example of a parity that we're going to have to deal with. And in this case, bring it here, it's going to be left-sided. So we're going to do this all on the left side. So we have the inner three here, and I got my centers back. So far so good with that? Okay, so now I'm going to go to the outside over here. Let's see what's in and see what's not in. And we can see that there's a couple that can be worked on. Here's two green and reds, or rather green and whites. Find the other green and whites over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. 2U. Let's make sure we have what we need here. Yeah, this will slip into over here. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. So we have the same situation, same kind of parity here. So what we're going to do is set it up the same way. We have 1, 2, 3 that are out, so we can't get around this brick parity that we keep getting here. So let's see. This doesn't belong here, but this doesn't belong here either. Move this over here. This belongs here. This belongs here, so I'm going to wind this around to this side. So the same thing's going to happen. This will come to, well, this will come to here, this will come to here, and this will come to here. So this is going to be the right-sided brick parity. So you can see multiple layers have to be done in order to make this happen. So this is going to be the left side here. So we have 2F, UI, 2L, U, 2R, UI, 2L, U, and 2R. We do a 2F, then we do a 2L through here, 2L, and return it to a 2F. And then we pick up where we left off with a 2R, UI, 2L, U, 2R, UI, 2L, U. We do our 2L over here, 2F, and our 2L over here. Okay, you can see a little bit of damage control between here and here. That's not going to be hard at all to put back in. As a matter of fact, I might as well do that later. First, you can see that all these are symmetric now. Oh, this popped out. Every so often that happens. I had super glued that in once, so I'll have to do it again. So I'm going to exchange these for these. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, and 2F, 2R, 2U. Whoop. Like a snowflake, it falls off. Okay, so we have these all in. To get these guys back here, I'm going to move this over here. And when I do it, I want to do it independently of these, but that's going to be 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U, 2F. Brings that back. It created placement issues here. So this is 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U. This is the even layer version. 2F, 2R, 2U. And after all that effort, you can see these are all in, and we've got our centers. We've got our centers back as well. So now we go to the next layer that we deal with, which is these guys. So let's see what we have here. We've got 2 that are in, 1 that's out, 2 in, 1 out. Do we have any that's actually in and out? Well, this is exactly the same situation. It's yet another brick parity here. So I'm going to take these 2 whites and put them where they're supposed to be here. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. So I'm going to do the same process of putting in and cleanup that I did before. So let's see, left-sided, what goes where? And what can we coordinate? So you can do it from any perspective here. What if I move this over here and move this up like so? Now here's why I did that. This orange and red can come here. This red and white can come here, and this can come up over here. So I can coordinate it like this and do it within the 3 here with just the right-sided algorithm. On the right side here. Now, alternatively, I could hold it like this and do that. Depends on what I want my U to be. Do I want my U to be this, or do I want my U to be this? Well, if my U is over here, if my U is this, it's going to end up involving these guys. If my U is this, it's going to end up involving these guys. So I think I might actually want to do it this way, as it might not involve anything of a lower layer, or of a higher layer than over there. So let's see if we can't do that. This green and yellow will end up here. This will end up down here, so I'm going to move this over here. So basically all I'm doing, red and yellow will end up here. Yellow and orange will end up here, and this will end up here. This white and red. Okay, so we're going to try it like this. Okay. Bringing that back, you can see a little bit of damage control here, but that won't be hard to put back in. We kind of anticipated that that might happen. But in any case, we did what we wanted to do here. So we're going to start putting this back in. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. And we've got all those in. These we can easily get in just because they're part of our original 3x3 area, and there's no bandaging involved with this. Turn, 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 and turn. And so too, we're now going to get these guys in. Okay, so you can see we're getting more and more order out of this. Now we're going to do, let's see, we did these three, we extended it out. Oh, we did these three, now we got to extend out to here. So we have 2 layers to get through. So let's see what we're looking at here. None of them really appear to be in, so it's going to be the same kind of thing. I'm going to move these 2 to where they're supposed to be. So that got this in, and looking at what we have, this is fine here, not fine, not fine. So again, we have another 3, so we have yet another brick parity. So looking at what we have here, now spreading it out a little bit more, we do have what appears to be the same type of brick parity. So it's going to be left-sided because this is going to come to here. This, well, I have to swing this around over here. This will come down to here, and this will come up to here. Same kind of concept though. And this one's going to be on the left side. Okay, you can see that this and this is still a little bit out of sync. We should be able to get this back without too much hassle by going turn, 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 and turn. So step by step, layer by layer, literally. Now we've got this last layer to go. Okay, and with this, we'll try it again. Same technique. These are in, these are not, so we have a similar kind of a parity. So we're going to take these 2, put it over here, to U, to R, to F, to U, to U, to F, to R, and got to line it up, to U. So with these here, we're now going to see if we can't move things in. Now we got lucky because these 2 are in, and this is not. So this is well, I don't know how lucky we got, but basically I can put these to here. So this is a different situation. To U, to R, to F, to U, to F, to R, to U. So do we have another floppy parity? Well, these are all in, and these are all in. So this is the first time that we've seen it like this, where 2 are in and 2 are out. So what we have is not a brick parity. What we have is actually a floppy parity. A brick parity occurs when you have 3 edges out. A floppy parity is what happens when you have 2 edges out. So to put this in, I'm not going to do that same algorithm because that'll 3 cycle. I'm going to do the strategy that I used to 2 cycle. So what I'm going to do is just do the floppy parity, which is a bunch of Red Bull algorithms to get these back. So start off by basically swapping these and doing the Red Bull algorithm, just with a layer here, 2R, 2B, 2U, L, 2 up, RI, 2 up, R, 2 up, 2F, R, 2F, LI, 2B, 2R. Now once we do that, I'm going to flip this over like so, and I'm going to exchange this over here and do the same thing. 2R, 2B, 2U, L, 2 up, RI, 2 up, R, 2 up, 2F, R, 2F, LI, 2B, to R. We do one more little clink over here to bring these two together, and one more time. Just plop this guy back in here. To R, to B, to U, L, to up, RI, to up, R, to up, to F, R, to F, LI, to B, to R. And now you can see, we're just going to put this back here. You can see we have all of these lined up, and now I just have to move them in. To U, to R, to F, to U, to F, to R, to U, and we got these in. Now I just have to do my damage control with these guys over here. Okay, so now after finagling with it, we appear to be one red floppy parity away from the solution. So that's what we're going to do. To R, to B, to U, L, to up, RI, to up, R, to up, to F, R, to F, LI, to B, to R. As planned, those are there. Just going to move this down like so, and move this in like thus, and now do it again. To R, to B, to U, L, to up, RI, to up, R, to up, to F, R, to F, LI, to B, to R. We have but to swing this around and do that one more time. To R, to B, to U, L, to up, RI, to up, R, to up, to F, R, to F, LI, to B, and to R. We move this back down, and now we just have these guys to put back in. And it might be a little more complicated than it sounds because I can't just move them in by positioning the way that I would do with these. So let's go ahead and move them single file. To U, to R, to F, to U, to F, to R, to U, and to F. Pulls it out to here, so we do the same thing. To U, to R, to F, to U, to F, to R, to U, and to F, and we have one final placement issue over here, and that's going to bring us to a to U, to R, to F, to U, and finally to F, to U, and it's done. 5x7x9 ultimate shapeshifter has been conquered using first 5x5 strategy to reduce it down to a 3x3, followed by 3x3 strategy to reduce it to a floppy, followed by floppy strategy to reduce it to a brick, followed by all the different parity algorithms to get it back to this configuration. So a marathon of a puzzle, but notice not too many algorithms that you need to know. You need to know cuboid strategies, and you need to know how to navigate through brick parities and floppy parities. There pretty much is a porphyry of all the different types of cuboid strategies that you can have. So you get every type of cuboid dilemma all in one with this guy. So further ultimate shapeshifters to come. Anyway, that's it for this guy. Thanks for watching. Now I'm actually going to elicit a challenge now. Before I did a parity-free solve of this guy over here, the 4x4, and that showing that it was possible to solve this without any parity whatsoever. I figure after doing all of the parities with this guy, let's try something without any parities at all. Well, what I'm going to ask you to do is try to do a parity-free solve of this guy over here. This is a 6x6. So try to get a parity solve of this, see what you can do. Now what I'm looking for is, it's not just what you might suspect, like a layer by layer, it's a solve of a 6x6 without any parity whatsoever. None whatsoever, not any brick parities, not any floppy parities, no cubic parities, complete solve without that. So see if you know what I mean by that, and we'll come back with that next time. Thanks for watching.